The third model that was announced and was the event reward for the Digimon collaboration, it is DGM02 Garuru Metal, with a kit of Hyper Missile, Free Shot, Missile, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Weapon Master, which adds a percentage of the leg's resist stat, shooting or melee, to base damage when attacking for your next turn. Now, honestly, with the scattered shooting kit as Garuru Metal has, he does capitalize on it very easily, especially with what he offers. Hyper Missile is a gunpowder-based skill that, instead of dealing AoE damage, is a pierce damage blow. So you'll be able to deal damage to a part and break it, and any carryover damage is carried to the next part as pierce. Free Shot, of course, is a shooting variant of a phrase attack, so it has the ability to stop an enemy cold and guarantee that the next hit essentially will guaranteed to land and guaranteed to critical hit on top of that. And then Left Arm is just basic Missile, which is also a gunpowder based move, but it is the standard and OG AoE, meaning it'll damage all parts balanced at equal damage to all parts. Now, especially with multi-based legs, Garuru Metal has pretty solid and pretty overall well-balanced in what he offers and what he does bring and what he can do on the field. Relatively solid armor too across the board, about 4250 for the head, about 4050 for the legs, about 2899, about 2900 for arms. Means that they can tank hits relatively well, but just to capitalize as well, he is also hitting that relatively nice sweet spot with the multi-legs at 672 for mobility. Evade of 564 is okay. It could be better, but it's not the greatest, so he's not going to be dodging or grazing a lot. Melee resist of 686 is also okay, but not the greatest. But a shoot resist of 1619 means that he can tank hits from shooting attacks very efficiently, but also capitalize that with his leg ability of Weapon Master to further bolster and improve his already relatively high base damage output. So as a pure set, I would rate him a pretty solid 7 out of 10 for his very good balance as I'd say more of a mixed shooter in this case, more than a dedicated one. Especially with Free Shot on top of that to capitalize on free critical hits essentially, and the leg ability of Weapon Master to capitalize even higher to buff his already relatively high shooting damage as mentioned. And of course with multi-legs, he does also have pretty solid mobility coverage across all terrains, arguably the next best under Biped. In its mixed parts, I would rate him also a very solid 7 out of 10 for what he offers, given the fact that you can use Hyper Missile or Free Shot anywhere. I'd argue Missile is probably going to be one of the lesser used parts of his set if you're going to mix him up at all, but his legs and the leg ability honestly are also very good, but it would honestly be encouraged that if you are going to use them on a shooting based multi-ped more so than a melee based one.